I've been away for a month, so I don't have any new work, but hopefully for everybody, this is new for you. So we're going to try to go rapid fire on this this experimental generative art tool that I did some research on last year while I was at Replit. It was like an academic thing, and now I'm almost there to putting it into production. So at a basic level, I'm going to start, by the way, with like kind of just basic features, and hopefully it'll get more and more crazy. At a basic level, this is about generative art. The first kind of feature is just like, you might expect from any drawing or art tool that you can create frames, but instead of them being layers, these are interactive sketches. Wow, the latency is really doing me dirty. It's not that slow. But the point is that this is a sketch. Specifically, it's P5.js, which is similar to processing, if you're familiar. And you can see that when I open it up, you can see the canvas size and the code actually changing as I change it. If I change the background color to red, it live updates. And just like any design tool, I can copy and paste this around and get multiple copies. So that's all cool and good. But what if I don't know what I actually want to start with? I can, of course, prompt, and I can say, just generate a new sketch. So we're going to generate something. We could see it, the token streaming in. Hopefully, it gives me something good. Oh, and we get a little cluster of interactive things. So that's cool. But what if I want a few of these, just see how they might interact? So we can just hit duplicate, and now we get kind of 5 running at once. But duplicating and branching and seeing stuff like this is interesting. But it gets even more interesting if we actually say we want to modify it somehow. So we can say make it more physical. And I'm not sure what this is going to do specifically, but or I guess you can see the thinking. It's trying to do something elastic. Okay, so I added gravity. So that's cool. But now we're going to modify it again, and we're going to say, what if we don't know how we want to make it? We can just hit slash, or make it more interactive and add. We want some more interesting suggestions. We get this autocomplete that is not about what's most correct, but what might be more interesting to pursue. And of course, I can just add that and modify it. But it's even more interesting so I'll add another autocomplete option. If I select the last option, which is burst all, it's called spell burst. So that's the pun. And then we'll see it do all of these in parallel. So one of the big focuses of this project in general, and I guess we have to go and test out all these different ones and see how they're different. I was changing colors on this one. But anyway, point is that this is all about like going really, really fast, exploring idea space really quickly. And when you zoom out, you can kind of see this. Well, all the balls are at the bottom now, but you can kind of see the lineage of how all of your ideas progressed over time. And finally, let's just do something completely unrelated. Maybe like make an orbital system with pastel colors. Let's generate that. This is all unscripted. All right, well, it fucked up. Hopefully we get something interesting. Okay, well, there's a sun there. It's not an orbital system, but let's just say, we decide we like this. We like this guy, the balls jump around. I'm gonna drag these out. And then the last thing is I'm gonna merge them. So I'm gonna hit M, merge. Wow, we're looking at a lot of bugs in real time right now. And we're just gonna say merge the 2 sketches in an interesting way. And the whole point of like language models is they can like understand things in a very fuzzy way. So the whole point about this project in general is like you can, okay, well, I literally just added them together, which isn't very interesting. Oh, but it's orbiting around the center. Oh, it worked. There we go. Nice. We love semantics. So the point is that language models are important for this because it can take things and like branch it out in a very like fast and messy way, and then it can also bring them together. Whereas like previously we were kind of anybody who's had to merge things together in a large code base before knows it can take days to make sure everything actually compiles, and then this thing can just be like, yeah, I'll just smush everything, and it's fun. I don't have any time left, do I? Okay, minute for this will be out hopefully in like 2 weeks. I keep saying that, but soon. This is oh my bad. Wait, let me I'll just do my entire screen. Okay, so sneak peek on some things that I'm thinking about right now is this thing called Brush Designer. And the core idea is like a drawing app where you can just like prompt like what your brush will do. But I think the interesting thing here is like if you start with a basic example, like, oh, I want like a red circle brush, and like as you draw, it'll make red circles. You can kind of expand that to like all kinds of effects. So like I want like a vortex brush, right? And it'll like spin my image. But then you could be like, oh, I want like a metal brush, right? And like it'll create some sort of metally blobby object. But I think what's interesting about where we can go in the future here with drawing tools is instead of drawing tools being about like applying state to a canvas where you're just like, you have static images, you can apply behavior. So you can imagine I want like a magnetic brush where like it'll draw little particles or blocks on the screen that attract things with like the tag metal on them. And if you expand this further, you can look at things like, even like predator prey simulations that people use like very complicated modeling software for. And you could be like, oh, I want like a hunger brush, right? And I'm gonna like draw over the wolves and make them more hungry, or like I'm gonna, make the sheeps more risk averse, or like these will be the nice wolves, and they're gonna try to convince this guy not to eat the sheep. But the point is just thinking about a brush as like applying behavior and not just state to anything that you're creating. I have this little comparison where it's like, drawing tools today are like, okay, fill this in red. And then, but we can have something like, make something organic that's like magnetic or repelled by magnets, and it'll kind of compile into something more complicated that gets applied to whatever you're making. Okay,